Hey there, people. I am doing a documentation on the reason why I do what I do today and how I do it. Okay, so the only way you're going to be able to understand exactly what I'm talking about is if I take you back to almost the beginning. Okay, so if we go to like 2007 stroke 2008, I was with a different partner then. I was with this person for about 18 years of my life, and things were a bit tough. She had her own business and I was working for someone. Now, I'm a hairdresser by trade. Okay, I trained up to be a hairdresser and I do all aspects of hair. And don't get me wrong, I love that. That was my hobby, but I had to find a new hobby because that changed to something else, which I'll get to in a minute. So 2008, we went on holiday, this major, massive holiday. We came back, found out that she was pregnant, and we had a baby girl in September 2008. And to this day, she's 16 years old now. So it was like a great time to find out, about that. Then Northern Rock collapsed and the housing market went to pot, and my ex-partner's business started to really struggle. And, we started to really, really struggle in the home, and having a new baby on board, couldn't meet payments for the mortgage, couldn't really buy food. It was getting very stressful. And we had a letter, like a sales letter, come through the door, and it was talking me through. I went through this sales letter. I asked my ex to actually read it because me and reading, I've got a very short attention span. I prefer like videos or hands-on audio, or sometimes if they're shorter scripts that I can read, then that's better. But me reading a whole entire like 22-page bleeding booklet on ways to make money online was very difficult for me to really pay attention to. So I got her to read it and I said, what do you think? Because all I saw was the title. And this was like how to make money online. And I picked up on a few key things that were highlighted that jumped out at me. And it was really interesting, but I couldn't read through all the gumph. So I allowed her to read through it and I said, what do you think? Do you reckon it's worth a go? She said, yeah, go on then. So me being me, I was a technophobe back then. The only type of technology I had was a Sony Ericsson, like little Sony Ericsson that you can send a text or make a phone call on. Absolutely amazing phone, indestructible. Used to be able to get cell signal even on a cruise ship out in the middle of the ocean, which is like, you won't be able to get that now. But things got really, really tight. I subscribed to this newsletter, and every month they sent me a new way of making money with, I think it was a 30-page newsletter, and 15 pages were a reminder of this person's upbringing, background, so on, so on. And it really did bring something home to me. I started to resonate with this person. And when I looked at the information, I was reading bite-sized information. When I looked at the information, I thought, I could probably do this. Now, I'm a kind of person that once I put my mind to something, I can do it, yeah? But I suffer with dyslexia. My attention span is like a size of a gnat, shall I say. So if you see me looking out the window every 30 seconds or so, it's because of the fact that my attention span requires me to look away. This is the coping mechanism that I had because I didn't really have much help at school. They didn't pick up on my dyslexia. I had to learn the hard way to do anything. So I used to put earpods, well, it's not earpods, I used to put headphones in, and I used to listen to music whilst doing my homework because it kept my concentration level on my homework. And how strange was that? And then taking a little break now and again, looking out the window, just changing the scenery made me concentrate more on my homework. Didn't get really great grades at school. As I said, it weren't really helpful. Well, anyway, 2008, my daughter was born. It was really tough. We decided to subscribe to this newsletter, and then there was an opportunity. Now, the opportunity was to buy this package. Now, this is obviously how the direct marketing works. They start sending you a $29.99 or pounds in the UK newsletter, and then it goes to a $297. So this $297 package came, and it was like 30 DVDs, which you had the master resale rights for. And they were like the blank cases, and they were like master resale right copy version of these DVDs. And in the newsletter at the time, and you know, the sales gump and everything like that, they turned around and said you had to watch one of these DVDs, pick one, watch it through, and then write about it as a sales letter, because that will be the one that you concentrate on to make money from. So I watched all 30 DVDs, and I mean, there was a lot of DVDs. There was a lot of, I mean, each one of these was seminars. So you're talking like an hour and a half, 2 hours long DVD that I watched. So it's a lot of time that I've wasted watching these DVDs. But I picked one, and I tried to write a sales letter on this. Wasn't very good. But then I had to learn how to make a website as well. So there was like a how-to DVD on there as well on how to make a budget website using Microsoft Expressions. And I did that. I mean, I was watching, pausing the DVD, implementing, watching the DVD, pausing it, implementing again, until I made this website. And it was a crappy looking website. But back then, you know, I thought it was the bee's knees. And it was a really, really, really long sales letter. Now, they said about having the really long sales letter because people like to read Gump. And I don't think like long sales letters really do anything justice nowadays. I think there's too much reading. It's giving too much information. It's information overload. Well, anyway, come to 2011, doing all those things. I didn't make a sale in that, by the way, from 2008 to 2011. You know, that was quite hard, learning how to build websites, learning how to write. I mean, I'm dyslexic, I've got a problem spelling, but I got on with it. I jumped in both feet and I was hammering away on it. And do you know what? To this day, I still jump in with both feet in. I may struggle with the writing now and again. I struggle with the spelling, but that's what Google's for. I didn't know how to use Google then, but I know how to use Google now. So when I have a problem spelling something, I copy paste it, put it in Google, listen to the sound of it, because it has little audio, and then I'll read the description, because it's a really short description, so it's easy to read. So 2011, I stepped out my comfort zone because my ex-partner's business was really struggling, and it took a battering, basically, to the point where we had to bring her business home. You know, her landlord was shutting the shop. She had to then move her business. She lost loads of customers, and I had to then do something. And knowing what I know now, it was one of the best moves that I've ever done, and I suggest it to anybody. If you are ever thinking about doing anything, like stepping out on your own, being your own boss, you need to do it, okay? I'm a hairdresser by trade. As I said, you know, give me anything to do with hair and I can tell you exactly what to do with it, how to do it, how to deal with it, and so on. And with the online business, that became my new hobby. So 2011, I stepped out. I had enough of working for somebody and getting paid peanuts. I opened up my own shop, thanks to my mother and a few of my savings as well, combined together. We opened up a shop, kitted it out, and then I was off trading. And I haven't looked back since. And I can truly say that, you know, I am more stress-free than I used to be. I'm not worried about money too much. Only the occasional times when I get big bills come through, I think, whew, blimey, that's a big one. but it is what it is. So fast forward to today, things couldn't have been any easier today. I mean, you've got the help of AI, you've got the drag drop softwares that you can get to build websites with. I mean, I used Microsoft Expressions 3, they were hard. I tried using Dreamweaver, that was really hard. I have no idea how to write code. Okay, I even took up a coding class and I still don't know how to write code. I know how to manipulate code to maybe play a video on autopilot, but that's it. And put a button on your video. That's one of those things. But I've got a bit of a creative eye when it comes to creating websites. And you know, I've used Artisteer, I've used Lead Pages, I've used ClickFunnels, I've used WordPress, I've used OptimizePress. Now they made them to build easy, but I have found something a lot better. But I'll come to that on another video when I show you exactly what I use and how to use it. I've met with different mentors along the way and I've learned a lot from different people. Now I've combined all the knowledge together and now I am making money online via affiliate marketing. And you know, as I said, I'll talk about each one of these a bit later, but I just wanted you to know exactly the reason why I did this, okay? When you're faced with no money and you need to put food on the table for your daughter who's like young, a couple of years old, you know, and your wife, well, she wasn't really my wife, but my partner. But if you have come to that point in your life where you are struggling, you need to do something about it. Because if you don't take action on something, you're going to really struggle for the rest of your life. You're going to be working for that person and you're going to wish that you take an action and do something a bit different in your life. Okay, because when you do something and it gives you a bit more of the freedom that you are longing for, that's one of those things you have to do. Okay, so that is the reason why I stepped out of my comfort zone. That is the reason why I went onto the online world. And in 2020, when we hit the pandemic, we saw a massive shift to the online world. Online learning became massive. The NLP side of things, so the mindset side of things, became massive online because people were struggling. So if you're struggling now, okay, just watch my videos and I'm going to show you things that I do because, you know, I want to share the information. I want to help you guys at least make a success of something, you know. I'm going to show you ways to make money online, okay? And it's not as difficult as what you think. It is actually a lot easier than what you think these days now. Doesn't matter what age you are, it is a lot easier. But the only difference is that you have to take action. And if you don't take action, nothing's ever going to change. So you have to take action for things to change. Okay? So I'm going to leave you on that note and just watch out for my next video. And thank you for watching.